My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review for Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 3, and this review will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But I can't believe I'm already done with this show. It feels like I just started it a few days ago, and now I'm done. And, I ended up really liking it, and I'm glad that it's not overstaying its welcome, but it just went by really fast. But I didn't like this season as much as season 2, but I still thought it was a great conclusion. Let's begin talking about the characters. First with Aang, and I like how he's trying to spend the first bit of this season recovering from his loss at the end of season 2. He lost against Azula and Zuko, and he died. Katara brought him back, but you see how that affects him. And I also love how there's these moments where he just comes across as a very human character. Before the Black Sun fight, there's an entire episode of how he keeps stressing over how it's going to go and what if he messes up and what's going to happen here and there, and he's just not dealing with it in the best of ways, and it just makes him feel like a real person. And yeah, he carries this show incredibly well. Katara is also great once again. I love her one scene with her dad where she just breaks up, where she just starts breaking down and crying about how he left her, and she understands why he had to, but just how it affected her so much. I actually think that's one of the more emotional moments of the show. And I like how she's a badass, she's a great friend, great emotional support, she's like a mother figure to some of these characters, but she's still flawed and she's still trying to just do her best. And the relationship between Aang and Katara, I liked for the most part. I thought the dancing scene was really sweet, and Aang kissing her before the Black Sun battle was a really nice moment. I'm not sure I like where it ended up, and I'll get to that in my negatives. Sokka is once again really great. I love that one episode where he's training with the one dude, and he actually becomes a somewhat competent swordsman, and he starts pulling his own weight a lot more this season. You also got Suki coming back for this season, and I think she's a great character. Really enjoyed her presence and her relationship with Sokka. Toph is once again a really great character. She just has so much personality, and she's funny, she's a badass, and she just lightens up the screen whenever she's on it, so I really enjoy her. But then we get to my favorite character, and it's Zuko. There is so much complexities within this guy of how he finally got everything he has ever wanted, everything he's aspired to be, everything he's hoped for. But he's still not happy. He knows he's done a bad thing, and he feels like he not only betrayed his uncle, but he betrayed himself. And as we watch him coming to terms with who he really is, I thought it might be repetitive, but this is some of the finest character work in the entire show. I really bought his transformation. And I love it when he goes to Team Avatar and he's just like, hey guys, I know you think I'm bad, but I'm not anymore. And he's actually being sincere, but he comes across as so phony, and I just loved that moment. And I love how he spends time with each and every member of the team and starts to form a relationship with them. And I also love how the show is self-aware of that fact and they make jokes about it. I thought that was really great. And well, he faces off against Azula and how he ends up being the Fire Lord. I was very satisfied with his story this season. I thought it was just perfection. And then we've got May, who I thought was really great to this season. We also saw more of her struggle and some complexities with her relationship with Zuko. And I love it that she changed sides with him. That scene when they were escaping from that prison and she risks everything to protect him, I thought it was a very nice moment. I also thought Azula is once again a very menacing villain, and I love how she just plays mind games with Zuko by giving him credit for killing the Avatar. It comes across as a nice deed on its surface, but when she's not sure if he's really dead, then she's just passing off the disappointment onto him as well. And I just love that. She's really menacing, and I like her as a character a lot, and I thought Awu, the uncle, was once again a great character. Not as prominent this season. I did miss him a bit, but that one episode where he's trying to come across like he's crazy, but he's really getting crazy jacked. I love it when he's doing like the push-ups and he claps, and then when they walk into the cell, he's just... I thought that was a really funny scene. And the animation is still really impressive, especially the red lighting of the last couple episodes. I loved that. I thought the action was really great for the most part. I love the world building still, and also how we get so many characters from past seasons. It really does feel like it's all coming together here, and I loved the one additional bit of world building, the blood bending. I thought that was really creepy and menacing, and how Katara actually uses that in a later episode. Great stuff. I actually wish it was a bit more prominent in the last episode, but so yeah, like the character work is all great. It's really funny. It's a really entertaining show. It just flies by, but I do got a couple issues. The first one is the entire Eclipse episode was completely underwhelming. Like, they built up to it for an entire season, just about, and nothing really comes from it. Like, I like the idea that they were prepared and they lost their opportunity, but it just doesn't have that weight it's so desperately needed. Everything with Zuko in this episode is great. I like the Aang and Katara kiss scene, but everything else just needed more emotion, needed more oomph to it, you know? And speaking of, and it's not a bad episode, it's just a fine episode that should have had more weight to it. But speaking of that same issue, I also felt that with the finale, the last couple episodes didn't really work for me as much as I would have liked. Fine, entertaining, but for the epic conclusion to this entire show, I was left, that's it? Really? Like, if Aang just disappears and they spend so much time on that, and it doesn't feel like they built up to the final fight as much as they should have, and then Aang doesn't want to kill the Fire Lord, and he finds a way out of it, and I thought that was a real cop-out. I know it's a kid's show, but I would have liked for them to go there, because now the ending feels too tidy. Everybody lives happily ever after, and everything is right again. I'm like, that's a little too clean. I like my mix of happy and sadness in the finales, like Breaking Bad, BoJack Horseman, Dark. They'll both got some happiness to them, but they're both very sad as well, and I prefer that. I know it's a kid's show, I'm just saying my preference. And the big moment with Katara and Aang just felt really out of place, because last time we saw these two characters, you know, just the two of them together, Aang gets rejected, and now that the fight's gone, just, okay, they're together now. I would have liked it if we saw more of their relationship during the final battle. So yeah, I got that issue, and also, I was okay with this for most of the show, but by the end, you start to realize that Ozao, the Fire Lord or the Phoenix King, wasn't really built up to as much as he should have been. I like him as a villain. He's menacing, but it just feels like there's no weight between him and Aang. I feel like they should have faced off against each other a couple times prior to the finale and just build up the conflict and the rivalry so it has more weight, because it kind of just feels like another fight. So I'm not saying the finale is awful. It's not like Game of Thrones or How I Met Your Mother bad, but it's not great either. It's just one of those fine finales. I feel like it could have been much better. But besides the underwhelming aspects of the Black Sun episode and the last couple of episodes, I still really love this season. It's just got some of the best character work of the entire show, especially with Zuko, and I loved everything they did with him. I love these characters and their friendship with one another and the continued world building, and there's lots of great animation and action, and it's really funny. And yeah, it's a show that I started off being like, it's a kid's show, and now I'm bummed out it's ending. I'm going to watch The Legend of Korra, so hopefully that recaptures some of the same magic, but we'll see. But anyways, I'll give Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 3 8 out of 10. I'm also going to watch the movie and review it right away. I've heard terrible things, but let's check it out. But what did you think of Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 3? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon. And Gavin